All right, so recording has started. I want to introduce my main man here. Known him for years, always been my guy. Held me
Oh yeah.
down when I was broke, when I had some money, and realistically when I didn't have anything else. Mr.
Uh,
Beyonce Roden, Alize Johnson. How are you today?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Great.
Hey, just wanted to get you on the couch with Ryan. That was a nice
Okay.
little plug there. Starting off
Yeah.
with something different. I think it's kind of different, but I thought maybe this time everybody's going through something. Everybody's trying to figure out, how to deal with the excess time, how to do something different when it comes to just, I don't know, man, like expressing themselves. So I thought I would reach out to you and kind of see, what it's like where you're at and kind of how, things are different for Deontay.
For sure, especially around this whole coronavirus, the things that are going on, man. So I work for a public charter school here in
Mhm.
Nashville, and of course, and if anybody didn't know, we actually had tornadoes on March the 3rd.
Yeah,
And so we ended up having to cancel school for that because a lot of our families were actually affected by it.
right.
And so the kids were out, the teachers were out, faculty were out. We were out from that Tuesday until that following Monday.
For the
We went
tornado.
back that Monday.
For the
And,
tornado. Right.
yeah, for the tornado. And then, so that was already like a lot because,
Mhm.
people were affected. We had about 25 deaths or so
Yeah.
as well. And then the coronavirus hit. So it was kind of like, they ended up finding a case over in Brentwood, which is technically Davidson County.
Money
Um,
team. Money team. You got to say it.
yeah, man, this is the money team. Yeah. So they ended up finding a case there that was actually positive. And so what happened was they ended up MNPS, Metro Nashville Public School System. They ended up closing.
Maybe write some checks.
Yeah, man, that's how we get paid. That's how we get this money. So, but yeah, they ended up closing all of the schools as well. And although Valor, that's the school that I work for, although we're autonomous, we can pretty much like make our own curriculum, we can hire our own staff, we still basically have to follow their guidelines as well. So if they're closed, we're closed. And basically, man, it's just been very different. I'm on the enrollment side,
Yeah.
so I'm not a teacher or anything like that, but it's definitely changed some things in regard to like my dynamic as far as work. Like the kids are actually on spring break currently.
Right.
They went on spring break last week Friday, and then now they've actually extended this all the way out until April the 6th. So kids are actually out of school. So we've had like Zoom meetings and school wide meetings, remotely
Yeah.
or virtually, rather, that's a better word, for our students to be able to learn virtually, and that's going to be a little different. And then even on my side, it's been a little difficult
Yeah.
because
Do you remember we used to talk about Lil Romeo on the ICDC commercials?
Yeah, I
Look
see
at us now.
DC College,
Come on.
right? You know,
Now,
look at
now
us
we all
now.
trying to figure out how to ICDC our little babies and nephews and nieces and try to get them something.
Yeah, man.
Romeo.
Yeah.
We need Romeo to help us.
Right. So it's been a little different, man. It's been a little difficult, but like even on my side, like I have to make sure that all these brand new families that are going to be coming in the fall get registered. I
Right.
got to make sure that my ambassadors are good. I got to make sure that like all my shadow days got canceled. Everything that I actually had planned got
Mhm.
canceled. So it's been a little rough, man. It's been kind of weird as far as trying to figure out like the next steps and stuff. So but yeah, man, that's kind of where I am in my headspace now. I will say this: I'm not as freaked out as the rest of the world is regarding this.
Right. Right.
I mean, man, I've been getting videos. I used to live in Birmingham. You knew that. I've been getting videos, man,
Feel
of
pity.
like the like soldiers coming in with like the tanks, bruh, like driving
Well, I'm
downtown.
saying
And I'm just like,
if you live close to a military base, if the
true.
I don't know the government is on DEFCON 2 or 3, I kind of feel like tanks maybe getting into place could potentially
Yeah,
what's going to happen, right?
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like in that space, you just kind of say certain things that we're not comfortable seeing, i.e.,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I'm saying, military personnel, more active and curfews and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
that to me is just kind of goes along with it. We live in a country where we pay taxes for that stuff to be set up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I want to know if
exactly.
you come out. We do got the AK-47s and AR-15s to take them out. I don't own them. I would appreciate if my government is protecting me with one. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely believe that that's what they're doing here. Now, a lot of folks, they haven't seen this or they don't think the same way that you do.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of like freaking out, like, oh my God, we're going to be under curfew and martial law, MART.
Mm-hmm.
IAL, not MARSHALL, like everybody else has been
Bro,
spelling.
if
Either
you don't say that to me, I don't know what you done abbreviated. You don't give me something with that. What is it? ABCD?
right, man. So I just want everybody to understand the difference between martial law and martial arts, or martial law, the other
Oh
one.
man,
So
you really done gave us a grammar lesson in the middle of this.
just a little
You're an
bit.
educator. You're doing a lot for me.
I'm an
But
educator, brother.
look, I just want to ask you a couple questions, kind of get your feel for, some of the thoughts that I was having and just having a conversation with you. And again,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking the time out. First one that I had was, uh, Deontay, how difficult has it been for you to find toilet paper? I'm doing hitters first. I want you.
Thank you. I'm gonna just say thank God I bought some before all of this happened.
Come on, if you stay ready, what happens?
Yeah, you never have to get ready,
Come
brother.
on, brother.
Listen, and so I had a good 12 rolls before all of this went down, man.
Are you doing quality double, triple ply? What you doing? What you got up there?
Yeah, man. So I always buy Angel Soft anyway. Yeah, and so luckily I had about 10 rolls left, and it was like the double rolls, so it's kind
Okay,
of
so
like
you ever notice that the math on toilet paper is like really ungodly, where they're like, these rolls equal 29 of our competitors. You like, wait a minute, I ain't learned that multiple.
right,
When that come out, y'all just doing it over there.
right.
All right. With the tornadoes coming, do you feel like you couldn't catch your breath being in Nashville of all places when this, obviously you get caught up in just trying to be able to get back to, not having down power lines and buildings blown up. I mean, we've seen the pictures of East Nashville. What do you feel like, with Corona coming so quick after that, were you guys even able to catch your breath in Nashville to even get back to some, semblance of a real, I guess, life,
Nope. We were not able to catch our breath. Like literally, bro. We went back to work that Monday.
Yeah.
That Tuesday, everything was like shut down again because of Corona at that point. So it's literally like we had maybe like a 24-hour turnaround where everybody was like, okay, let's all breathe. And then all of a sudden, here we are with Corona and nobody can actually go anywhere or do anything. So it was it was hard. It was really hard, man. And that turnaround time was not enough time at all
for you to get back into some type of semblance of a regimen or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I saw yesterday, which it tripped me out just how fast it kind of jumped in, but it was like you heard 400 plus people die in Italy in like one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they cut to the kids on spring break in Miami, and they're out there turned. You know what I'm saying? Then you see people in Destin and Santa Rosa, some other nice places that got beaches, and you're like, wait a minute, the age range in Florida is kind of high. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like these are the people that are getting taken out. The most. So I guess for me, like, what did you think, or I don't know if you have seen it, but what do you feel like, when people, you saying you're not taking it as serious, but would you feel comfortable getting out into an event like a spring break or, some type of concert that would potentially, up your chances? And do you feel like people just aren't taking it as serious as they should in certain extents?
Right. So I do feel like people are out here living their best life. I don't know if you've seen the flights, but
I mean, I'm living in Atlanta, so it's like we right across the street, baby. We can jump in and do California for $36. But my thing is, do I want to be on the way?
Do you want to risk it as far as the Corona goes? Right. And so I totally agree. That's what I'm saying.
But we seeing the snaps though. We seeing the people that we know. We seeing the people that are just down. I seen them yesterday. People in Miami like me greater than Corona.
Yeah, no, bro, no. So I will say this: like, I'm taking it serious, but it's
Mhm.
not as serious as the whole martial law things, curfew, and all of that stuff
Yeah, yeah,
goes. Like, I feel like definitely if you limit your space around people, or you limit your time around certain people, or like a group of people, even when we go to Walmart, like or we're going to like these different places to even go and shop right quick. Like, even though it's right quick, you still don't know who you're coming in contact with.
right.
So I think that's why I'm kind of like, I see why people are just kind of like out here living their best life and not really caring in this moment. But at the same time, yes, I do believe that we do need to care in some type of way. Just not, I think people just need to have their own limitations, and they need to know in their own mind to say, okay, yes, I need to go here, or no, I don't need to go here. For example, I'm actually getting ready to go on a little trip, not myself, and it's only
Mhm.
8 of us, and it's not any more than 10. You know what I mean? But
The federal
at the
guideline.
same time, I have no idea what could possibly happen. Am I prepared? Yeah, I'm prepared to have to sit there and stay there. I'm definitely taking my work laptop with me, and
Mhm.
just in case some things happen or whatever. But yeah, like it's definitely. I feel like people should take caution, especially where a lot of those cases are like the most heavy. Because we do have over 100 something cases in the U.S. of people that have actually died. So
I think for us in Georgia, I think we're at like two, but
mm,
very like weird underlying conditions. I think
yeah,
I saw one that said, cancer survivor, and then the other one was, some type of immune system disease. But, I think for me, when I think about those kids that are down there in Florida, it's like, well, maybe you can't.
yeah,
But imagine you go back home and your school's closed down. You go visit grandma and grandpa, and you sitting up having cookies and sweet tea, and you giving them, you know what I'm saying, the H1N1, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And then it's like, can you really say that I did everything I could with social distancing?
yeah.
God, I can't say distancing. Distant.
Distancing.
I'm gonna
There
let
you
it
go.
go. I'm gonna give it to Beyonce here. If you're not practicing that, just for the simple fact of you can potentially be that carrier to
Hmm.
somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's no fault of their own, but just knowing you. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel like you being an idiot, but I feel like
Hmm.
realistically, if I was 21, 22, we've been there. We've been there. I probably
Yeah.
go on the beach too if I had access and school was closed down.
Yep.
I'm turning up.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
I think for me though, Deontay, I know that you're a musician. You've been a professional for over 10 years. You're an amazing singer. You sang at my wedding. Thank you for that. But how is it affecting you when it comes to being a professional in an art industry right now, and then not really being able to practice your art publicly?
I feel you. It's actually I do a lot of my singing right now in the church, and
Mhm.
so even with that, we're taking like huge precautions.
Mhm.
Like my church, we actually have over 100 voice choir, but they
Yeah.
have these last 2 weeks have only been 9 people singing at each service. You know what I mean? So it's like we've had to, yeah, it's what we call our front line.
Well, that's the
And
we fall down, isn't it? That's
that's the
get back up. Yeah.
right, right. So it's like we're definitely taking our precautions when it comes to everything. And like I don't sing every Sunday, which is good.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like now that I know that my days are actually coming up and my time is coming up, even with this whole quarantine situation,
Mhm.
like I got a text yesterday, like, hey, can you sing this coming Sunday and possibly next Sunday? I said, hey, not this Sunday, but definitely next Sunday. I got you. And so as long as as long as I'm still getting my fulfillment, which I normally do, I
Yeah.
can do that with 9 people. I can do it with 900 people. So that's pretty much like where my headspace is when it comes to it, especially just like with me singing gospel music. I have actually 2 weddings that are coming up in June. I
Yeah.
got 2 weddings that are coming up in June, and hopefully, all of this is passed on by then. But I see a lot of folks on social media, a lot of creatives right now on social media that are losing money because things are getting canceled left and right, and not being able to, weddings are being canceled and
Yeah.
parties are being canceled,
And I know it's something that is kind of new to what the social sphere is, and I think it's so cool that we're able to see things differently now and use tools differently. Netflix is really doing parties for people to watch movie and comments together. Really bringing us together, but we're really apart. So I saw and actually listened to John Legend on Tuesday. he did a free, live concert. Have you
Yep.
thought at all about, how you could get your music out and your talent out for the people maybe that are on quarantine and potentially do something like that?
Yeah, so I've actually been trying to figure out a way how to get my choir back together.
Come on, you got to plug the choir. Don't just say the choir. I need to know.
Deontay Roden and the Chosen. Yeah.
The members are chosen. Oh, you got to say season what though? That's what
The
you got to
members are right,
five,
exactly.
season 6 of the show.
Right. So before the quarantine even happened, before Corona happened, before the tornadoes or anything happened, I was actually in a position where I was preparing to get everyone back together, and we were actually going to record and do some things. Now that all of this has happened, it's on the back burner again, but it's still like in the forefront of my mind. I have to basically try to figure out a way how to kind of
get the band back together, man.
yeah, man. Like I have to kind of figure out a way how to maneuver and get everybody back together regarding even with all of this stuff that's going on. So it's something I've been thinking about. I'm trying to get there.
I mean, I think with all this time, and that was one of the main reasons I really wanted to do this, because I was like, I think there's so much creativity that people are naturally exuding, into the world outside of us, that now we kind of have to bottle ourselves up and figure out how to be creative, about getting that out. So I think for me, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm excited to see that people are trying to figure these things out. And it's like, yeah, you know what? You kind of are like a millionaire. Would it kill you to spend 10 minutes, doing maybe a concert that could make somebody a little bit happier? And I think that's the whole point of music in the first place, is that you're trying to, get a response out of somebody that's listening, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It just makes sense. Well, I'm going to pick up with this one, man, because I know you got to get out of there. But tell me your thoughts on the Cheeto checks that are getting ready to drop. That's what I'm calling them. Trump is giving out stimulus. I know you like it. I know you.
What did you call it?
A Cheeto check. That's what I call
a Cheeto check. That's funny, man.
When you cash it, your hands are gonna have that dust on it. It's gonna be dusty when you take it up.
Just as orange as he is.
Thank God. You're gonna get your phone. The direct deposit gonna hit you. Your phone gonna be Cheetos. It's gonna be that.
Right.
Well, they're saying that for a family under $150,000, you can, two kids potentially walk away with $3,600. $1,200 for an adult in a family making less than $75,000 as an individual, $500 for a child, one-time fee. Do you feel like that's the government, one, doing enough, and then two, do you feel like it's something that's going to have some strings attached when it comes to potentially maybe repayment, or potentially, you obviously now taking this money and owing the government back for it?
So I wasn't around I was around, but I wasn't old enough to receive a stimulus check the last time one was issued to families.
I wasn't around either. When was this?
No, we were in school, brother. Your mom might have got one caller.
Oh man, she got a whole coin to the house.
Yeah, that was a thing at one point in time.
Honestly, man, you talking about like 2009, 2008?
Yep, because it was around. Obama had just gotten office, and stimulus checks were actually given out. Do you remember that?
I remember when they started doing remember you drive down the highway and they say this project is being done by the stimulus package and all that. I don't remember individuals getting checks. There was individuals.
Yeah, I thought that there were like individual checks anywhere between $300 and $600. Do you not remember that? Look, it wasn't a lot of money.
But see, even with that though, I'm kind of like, that wasn't enough then.
No, it wasn't.
So I'm just thinking about, what was it? Delta laid off, 10,000 people.
Yeah.
That's just one industry. And I think about the ripple effects, you know what I'm saying, of somebody getting sick in a building that runs the building, somebody working as a chauffeur that can't pick up people. Those are things that I feel like it's kind of weird, in that ripple effect. So do you feel that that's enough? And do you feel like it might be a little bit much when it comes to strings attached? And, how you feel about it?
Possibly, yes, with the whole strings attached thing. I really think Trump is just trying to get some votes. Yeah, I think Trump is trying to get some votes, and I've actually been seeing a lot of folks on social media, even though I feel like they're playing or
Yeah,
they're joking, but they're like, you know what? Yeah, my president can send me this $1,000, or my president, he'll be my president at that moment because he's
my
sending me
coin.
money,
Yeah,
right? And so I don't think that it's enough, but at the same time, I do think that it will help.
yeah.
It'll help a lot of people in regard to like just catching up on bills, paying bills.
That
Some
time.
of these companies out here are actually, don't worry about this payment this month, things like that. We're not going to disconnect your services, and like I don't want people to just take advantage of that, but also be prepared to what's to come afterwards. And
Because
so maybe,
feeling you at this moment, don't think that they just stopped and thought it was on.
oh yeah, they definitely calculating. Like, yeah, we may not do it this month or whatever. We're not gonna cut your services off this month, but next month, just be prepared to pay double. So
Yeah,
if people are actually smart, take that money, do what you got to do with it, and or save it, or utilize it towards something that you know for a fact that you're gonna have to like pay. So. And then I want to say, is it like $1,000 like per household or something
well,
if you're single or something
well,
like
see,
that?
they're going off of you filing taxes in 2018,
Oh,
right?
okay, I
And
got you.
so then they're saying if you made less than a certain dollar amount, the max that you can get as one individual is $1,200, and 2,400 for a couple and 500 per child.
I
So
got you.
I'll say this: if you're really big on bets or stocks, when these things come out, just know Jordan gonna have a drop, Fashion Nova gonna have a discount, Cadillac gonna take off, and some people might say that it's disrespectful, but I just feel like these are businesses that are going to be affected by the black dollar, and
Yeah.
there's so many things that again that we don't think are consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then
Mm-hmm.
you think about being in the situation with back in the recession in 2008, that was because of people being able to get those subprime mortgages, right? And they got we know because we lived through it. People got
Mm-hmm.
300,000 square foot houses, and they're working down the street, doing
Yeah.
a regular job, and it's
Yeah.
like maybe that wasn't the loan you should have got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
America though. So I'm thinking, forward, like what is this gonna look like when we start seeing, though it might be small, that effect across a whole community could
Oh
be
yeah.
huge.
Oh
And
yeah.
with that being said, it's amazing to kind of see what's gonna happen, man.
It's definitely gonna be some type of repayment, bro.
I mean, look, America ain't never paid us a debt anyway, but that's a different show. That's a different show. Hey, look, man, I know we said we wanted to acknowledge some type of charity, something that was close to you, something that you felt like potentially could, use a little boost from people seeing this and maybe jumping on. So I want to kind of open it up to you to kind of talk about it.
Actually, man, so when you asked me about that, I was thinking about this whole coronavirus thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that people are out of work, the fact that people, that need this actual like healthcare piece or they need the extra money. I really feel like it will be beneficial to donate toward the coronavirus. Some may not feel like that, but there actually is a coronavirus relief fund
Mm.
that you can go to globalgiving.org.
Global.
And basically, yeah, globalgiving.org. And basically, you can just like donate your money. I want to say that they've raised over $500,000 or so right now, just to families that are in need of it, people that are sick, folks that do not have health care, things like that. So, yeah, so I definitely think that that's somewhere to kind of start, especially with what's going on right now. Also, I thought about another one. There is a tornado relief fund right now that's still going on in Nashville.
Mhm.
And so, people are still, folks, everybody has power to my knowledge, but people are still, rebuilding their homes and they have branches and stuff like all in their yard and things like that. So, it's a couple different charities in regard to just Nashville by itself regarding those
You know
tornadoes
going
that
for
hit.
Nashville tornado, or just you thinking like Red Cross in the area or something like that?
There actually is one specific for like Nashville Tornado Relief Fund.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I don't know the actual website for it, but I do know that like a couple of our kids from the actual school that I work at, they are a part of it.
Shout
And
out to the
so,
kids, man.
yeah, shout out to the kids, man. And
Say the
so
name of
they
your school.
say it again.
Say the name of your school.
Valor Collegiate Academies.
Come on, Valor Collegiate Academy. We showing y'all some love.
Yeah, we are. It's a public charter school, man. We serve grades 5th through 10th currently.
Mhm.
And then in the fall, we'll be opening up 11th grade. And then next year, we'll have our very first graduating class.
Man, look, I'll say this. Being a man first, but being a man in education, like I'm trying to think about something outside of like a doctor or a police officer. It's like you really directly molding and affecting being able to find these families and identify who can really be successful,
Oh,
and
yeah.
giving them an opportunity to do just as well as those kids that got the coronavirus first in Brentwood. Are doing so.
Exactly.
Man, major ups to you for being in Nashville doing that, and really, what I'm saying, trying to pull some kids up to, where you are when you got pulled up. Because we know the
Yeah,
story.
man.
You know the story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, brother.
I thank you, man, for jumping on with me. This has been exciting. Have a good trip. Stay safe. And, man, until next time, this is Ryan. Or wait a minute, this is On the Couch with Ryan. We got
On
it.
the couch with Ryan. You got to get it right, man. This your show.
We're going to try it.